Fun fact, I've been arrested before. Now hang on, sit down. It's alright. I'm not saying that I'm some wanted fugitive. It's like running from the cops and all this stuff, and I got a switchblade of death and I'll cut you up. No, it's nothing like that. It just so happens that I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I'm gonna explain that situation. Okay, so this was around about like junior year in high school, and me and Dryden, you know, that big guy that you've seen a couple of times in my videos, yeah, he was, he was staying over for the weekend. You know, we were bored in the small town that we live in, because when you live in small towns, there's not a whole lot to do, so you have to find ways to entertain yourself. And we thought, you know what, let's go down to the good old YMCA, because why not? We're gonna find something to do, and there was like this little park and playground type thing, like, I don't know, we were bored, so we're like, you know what, we're gonna be 5-year-olds and play on a playground, because who's gonna stop us? So yeah, on our way, you know, to the YMCA, we passed this old and abandoned mill. And you know, we didn't know anything about the mill, didn't know what was in it or anything like that. It was just, you know, we're passing by a mill. And out of nowhere, these 2 cop cars pull up and they jump out like guns at the ready. And they're like, don't move! And we're like, whoa, what is going on? What did we do? And who said we did it? And like, there was 2 people inside the like on the other side of the fence, because there was a gate around this this old mill. There were 2 people in there, and they're like, oh, if you run, we're gonna shoot. And I'm like, I'm not gonna run, he's not gonna run. I'm pretty sure you're talking about them, because they're the ones all snooping around and stuff. And then like as they, you know, come around the corner or whatever, of course it's someone I know from school. And what do they say? Oh, hey Zabu. And I'm like, why did you just say my name? Now you're gonna think they're conspiring with us, oh my god! And that's pretty much what happened, because they're like, oh, you 2 must know each other. That means you're in cahoots. And I'm like, but no, that's not even what it is. Like, we're literally just passing by. And, you know, they're like, yeah, everybody get in the car right now. And so, you know, they detained, I got hiccups a little bit. They detained us, you know, put us in the back of the car, and I'm just back there sitting there next to Dryden or whatever, and like we're sitting there like terrified or whatever, because we don't know what's going on. We've never been arrested before. We're like, we don't know the process. Like when you're arrested, do you go straight to jail? Like what's going on? Like you're in a holding cell for like 3 days, and you know, you gotta eat fucking, I don't know, you gotta eat porridge with like a toothbrush or something. I don't know. I've never been to jail. I don't know the story. You know, we're just in the back of the car or whatever, and luckily they take us back to, you know, the police department, and we get out or whatever, and they're interrogating and stuff like that. And the one thing that we keep recurring is the fact that we have nothing to do with what they were doing. We were literally just passing by. And of course, my friend from school, she was dating this guy at the time who had this little knapsack or whatever. And inside this knapsack was a couple of cans of spray paint, a flashlight, and some paper. And so he decides that he wants to tell the police that he is a freelance artist. And they kind of look at each other like, is this kid serious? Like, you're inside like this random mill, you know, there's a lot of spaces to tag, and you have a bag full of spray paint, different colors of spray paint, and a flashlight. So they're like, yeah, how do we know that you're not, you know, trying to tag some stuff with the good old graffitis and stuff like that? And he's like, oh, I can't even do graffiti like this. I just had this bag, and it's got my freelance art stuff in it. I don't know what's going on. And they're like, why are you on the other side of the fence? And they're like looking at us like, you know, what was you guys doing with them? And I'm like, literally, me and him were just walking by. I'm like, notice when you guys pulled up that we were on the outside of the fence, they were on the inside of the fence. So yeah, and I'm just like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, that's not even what's going on here. And so, I had to call my parents and tell them the exact situation because we couldn't just leave the police department because we're underage. So we had to call our parents. And of course, I had to call them and be like, hey, can you pick me up from the police department? Before you completely annihilate my ears, let me explain, because it's all just one big misunderstanding and one big mix-up that really did not need to happen, and it had nothing to do with us. We were just walking by. And yeah, I was still kind of chewed out later, and my mom, she told me that, gotta watch out who you're friends with and stuff like that. I'm like, but, I'm like barely friends with that person. We just so happen to know each other from school. And I'm just like, this goes to show that if you are stopped by the police for any reason at all, just comply with whatever they say, because you never know what will happen if you don't. So there's your little food for thought. And I'm a good Sergal.